Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacconiana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home.
Today we are going to continue to fool around with some old pipe lighters. We've been tinkering with this Park lighter with the petrol pipe insert for the last couple weeks, and right before I took the break I started using it. You can see that it is still charred up on top. I haven't done anything else to the wick, haven't pulled it up, snipped it off, anything like that, and it appears to still be right about where I left it. Regardless of the wonky burning characteristics that this lighter has exhibited, it has still been very useful. Maybe have to spin it a few times, but it lights up pretty close to when I need it to, and you're able to suck it down into a pipe like you would want to. That got me to thinking about the Zippo pipe inserts that I had, and I've had this one in this L&M Continental lighter for some time now. Fits in there just about like it was made for it, and works pretty well. I have used this lighter off and on for the last, I don't know, year and a half. Pretty cool, nostalgic advertising to put in your pocket. Really what most people would consider a throwaway lighter. A Zippo knockoff, so to speak. There's a name crudely scratched there on the back spine. But overall, the lighter's in pretty good condition. Even the paint is, the majority of it, still there. So it makes for a nifty lighter to carry and to use. Now, this insert is marked H of XIII. That should be 1997. Still looks to me to be all original, or if not original, very clean. But that wadding looks original to me. Somewhere to the printing on the bottom of the felt pad. But this is a copper woven Zippo type wick like you would see in a Zippo today, and it has largely charred up and probably needs to be pulled up and snipped off. If I could just verify whether or not these wicks had asbestos in them or not. But the interesting thing about that to me, even with all that charring up and even sort of melting of the wick material, that lighter you saw still works just fine. But I have this other Zippo pipe insert from the year before, XII, which should be 1996. It all still looks original as well, but the wick is not the copper woven type. So I don't know if Zippo made a change in the kind of wicks they used right there in the mid to late 90s. I know that our friend Migorang has mentioned that the wicks in the early 80s, I think, still had asbestos in them. I don't know about this one, but that is not a copper woven wick. And of course with a lighter this old, 1996, so 26 years old, 36, is that 26 or 36 years old? My math is failing me. However old it is, it's old enough that that wick could have been changed several times by someone who took great care. But the wadding is still very white, along with the wick that you can see there underneath that felt pad. So we're going to go ahead and fuel this insert up and find a case to put it in. An old 1969 Zippo that I sent off to have repaired a year or so ago. See that that wick is pretty charred up as well. And we're not going to help it out by trying to light it before we get good vapor content, good fume content up there in that chimney. So I have a hard time seeing those dots. Looks like one on the left. I can't remember. I think it was 1969. Zippo did a really good job though on repairing that hinge. And you can see there it appeared to be a little over fueled. And definitely some charring and glowing of that wick, which I don't think I have ever lit this particular insert before. So this may be an entire learning process for me. And actually I think we're going to go ahead and need to change that wick. See how it has completely turned into an ember. See, it is still glowing. You want to be careful when you have something like that sitting there, because if you were to get it near open fuel or set it down in some fuel, you could end up with a mess on your hands. And I think that we're going to end up with that just being ash. So I don't think that old wick is going to be structurally sound enough to use. So we will re-wick that. Look for that coming soon, and in the meantime I'm going to continue to use these other two till we work out the perfect setup. I'm in great need of pipe lighters these days, so we're going to use them and hopefully get them tuned up just right. Give you a tip or two as we go along the way. Until next time.